Alex Jones, your call straight
You
ahead.
have a mortgage and a load of other debt. Wouldn't it be great if it all just went away? No More Mortgage can change your life.
We paid off all of our bills.
All your debt, including your mortgage, in as little as 9 years?
With No More Mortgage, we will have saved over $313,000 in interest payments.
Even have more money left over each month?
It lowered our monthly payments by a little over $500.
No More Mortgage.
Where have they been all of our life?
If you knew about something like that, you'd want to tell everybody.
Whenever I have a friend or someone that needs this service, I give them the number.
I'm Larry Ruff, president of No More Mortgage. This is unlike anything you have ever seen before, and it will absolutely not harm your credit. Call for your free CD. Learn how you can eliminate all your debt, including your mortgage, much sooner than you ever dreamed possible. The more debt you have, the more we can help.
Call for your free CD now, 800-578-6279.
This works. Call the number.
Call now for your free CD, 800-578-6279. 800-578-6279.
Have you heard that millionaire, entrepreneur, businessman, your congressional candidate, and author Robert Beatles wrote a new book called Here's What You Do? You can buy it at here'swhatyoudo.net as an ebook for $6 or the book for $10. And we have an audio book on its way for you commuters as well. Here's What You Do tells you exactly what to do to survive and thrive in these harsh economic times. This book will work for anyone, rich, poor, middle class, it doesn't matter. This book truly has the information that can make you wealthy, and it will tell you how to protect your wealth as well. You know the government isn't looking out for you. You need to look out for yourself. The economy is bad, but it's probably going to get worse. You must prepare and make sure you are able to financially take care of yourself and your loved ones. Go to here'swhatyoudo.net and start today. Again, it is here'swhatyoudo.net. That's here'swhatyoudo.net. One last time, it's here'swhatyoudo.net.
Hello, Ted Anderson. Listeners of the network are familiar with the Federal Reserve note and understand the risks of deficit spending. Therefore, with catastrophic events, it comes as no surprise that some banks have currently placed limits on the amount of cash depositors can remove from their accounts. A fractional reserve system means only a small portion of your deposit is held in reserve for immediate withdrawal. Deficit spending will skyrocket through FDIC if the government is forced to insure deposits during a bank run followed by a depressed economy. A current effort is underway by the Fed along with other central banks to increase liquidity for depositors. However, an increase in money supply without equal expansion in productivity can cause inflation. In order to achieve strength and stability, I recommend a conservative portion of all investments to be calmly repositioned into gold and silver. While paper investments currently have been driven by debt, gold on its own has held value for over 6,000 years. For more information, call 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
We all know that the Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 4 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water systems. The revolutionary Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and re-cleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and removes harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping, an $87 value, yours free, but only for a limited time. Just call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653 now to order. That's 1-877-886-3653, or order online now at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Your call's coming up in the next segment. We'll get into the economy, but this is the economy. The IMF and World Bank, in the leaked Danish text, the real version that's in the text of what they're going to introduce next week, they were going to keep it secret. It came out 3 days ago, to double or right at double the taxes on the third world over what the West has to pay. They suckered the third world into getting behind the treaty, telling them, oh, you're going to get America's money. You're going to get Europe and Britain and Japan's money. No. The banks get our money, and the banks get your money. Okay, you understand? They always play us off against each other, divide and conquer. And in there it states the World Bank and IMF will get all the money, totally dictatorial. The countries sign their sovereignty in a treaty, in a contract, away. And Obama said 3 days ago in Associated Press They said, if the Senate doesn't ratify this, I will implement it by executive fiat, quote, command and control. And then now here's another headline. Now EU wants global transaction tax to fund bailouts, a direct transaction tax to the private banks. I mean, Bob, this is just like Madoff declaring himself king or something and everyone bowing down. Madoff, of course, was involved in this at the highest levels with Ken Lay. I mean, this is so criminal. This is so openly criminal. How does anyone go along with it, Bob?
Well, they won't once they find out. And what that is a transaction tax, and that is on securities transactions. And they've had that in the United States before. During the 1960s, they had such a tax. And it's just another way of raising revenue. And it's not good, of course. People, don't need to pay any more taxes anywhere for that matter. And, yes, they also are allowing the rich countries, so to speak, to emit 2.67 tons of carbon per day, but the third world countries can only emit 1.44 tons per day, which is about
per
double.
person per year, yeah.
Yeah, and as George Orwell said, some are more equal than others. This is so totally chauvinistic and, as you say, diabolical.
And it's being sold as liberal to help Africa when it will admittedly kill them en masse. These people are on the edge of starvation. This will kill them. The ethanol scam killed 10 million extra last year. And then here's George Soros. Climate colonialism. Soros wants poorer nations to take on green debt. So Soros gets our tax money, literally paid to him and Al Gore. Then they loan sharking rates to the third world, and they don't even get the money if they don't sterilize people. I mean, can you think of something more evil, Bob?
No, and that, the Gore family made their money with Arm & Hammer, and after the wall came down, the records of the Soviet Union became public, and the Arm & Hammer was identified by the former Soviets as a secret agent going back into the 1920s. He was a KGB agent. So the Gore family made their wealth by being involved in business deals with other Marxists.
But
obviously.
At a higher level, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been declassified now, McCarthy was right. He found out that the army was running it and the banks were running it. They just created the communists as a rent-a-mob to go rob the czars and the people and make them slaves and call it revolution. And so Hammer was actually just working for the globalist.
That's right. And I had met him many times because I was in the brokerage business in Los Angeles, and he would always be coming around with a dog and pony show about Occidental Petroleum. So, and I knew what he was doing at the time, but I never brought it up in the meetings because I would be the only voice, and everybody would look at me and say, "You're nuts." And of course, that wasn't true, and now we're proving all that. George Soros. And I don't know the listeners know his background, but as a teenager, he was a Hungarian Jew, and he passed himself off as being non-Jewish, and he worked with the Gestapo, collecting other Jews to send them off to be exterminated. And what they would do is steal all the belongings that belonged to these poor people, and they would divvy it up among the Gestapo people and him and others who helped him. And so that's how George got his start.
Unbelievable. Let's talk about that a little bit more. And Arm & Hammer.
Wait a minute, Alex. He's been convicted of stock fraud twice. And once in Paris, and he appealed the decision, and they threw the appeal out. And just recently, in the last year, he was convicted of stock fraud, and in both instances paid large fines.
Well, stay there. We got a break. We got a break, Bob. I want you to come back and finish the story. That's why I was saying hold on. I want you to take your time on that. Take your time on the other chief guy running all this other than Al Gore, and that's Maurice Strong. He can't come to the U.S. for oil for food, starving Iraqis for money. Stay there, Bob. We'll come right back to you.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.